Welcome to Fool's Key Tarot. I'm Ben, and this is a daily reading for Friday, May 30th, 2025. Let's see what the cards have in store for us today. The Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana number 10. This could mean surprises, coincidences that maybe aren't so coincidental but seem like it at first. Could be good fortune or bad fortune. Next, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So this could indicate an inability to connect with other people on the level of emotions and feeling. Could be like a blocked intuition, or maybe just a very strange feeling that you don't recognize or understand. Finally, Justice reversed. So this could be a decision that is made against you. This could be somebody who's in a decision-making position, like a judge or a boss, who makes an unfair decision or a bad decision. Maybe they don't have complete information. Because of the reverse Queen of Cups, I'm thinking that that might be why this decision maker has made a poor decision. They lack an understanding of the feelings of the situation. They don't understand all of the people involved. They're looking at it from a very logical point of view, and they're not factoring in some factors that are more intangible and relate to intuition and feeling and emotion, which are equally as important as logic and reason. So with the Wheel of Fortune coming up, which can represent a turning point or a point of no return or the past catching up with you, I think that what I'm seeing in the full picture today is that something that you've done in the past is catching up with you today. That's the Wheel of Fortune combined with Justice reversed, which also has to do with consequences. And because Justice is reversed and the Wheel of Fortune can indicate good things as much as bad things, I think that this consequence is a negative one and or it's unfair. It could be both, or it could be one or the other. But somehow there is a decision that is made for you, not by you, but for you, that affects you today. And this is going to feel unfair or be negative, and it might well be unfair. The person who's making the decision is unfeeling or not in tune enough with their own feelings or your feelings or the feelings of the people involved. And so because of that disconnect, they do not see the situation clearly. And so they make a decision that does not respect the contribution of everyone involved. And unfortunately, I think that you are found on the short side of this exchange, and that is going to be frustrating. You might feel like the Queen of Cups in reverse because of this, where your thoughts are in turmoil, where you have feelings that are negative or make you feel isolated from other people, rather than when you have feelings in common with other people, it makes you feel more connected and more together. And so I think that maybe the reverse of that is going to be the consequence of this decision. So what advice are the cards giving? So we have a past deed or action that is catching up with you, but in a way that is probably not fair. And the reason for the unfairness is due to a lack of appreciation of the feelings and the emotions of everyone involved. So I think you cannot control this decision. It happens to you. All you can choose is how you react to it and what you do going forward. So the first thing is to realize that sometimes unfair things happen, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be upset about it. If you're upset, then that's a feeling to honor and to feel, but you don't need to make that cause you to get stuck or to get caught up on it for a long time. The more you stew over how unfair it was, the more you're just going to be stuck in place, and the consequence is going to be even more negative than it had to be. So the wheel is about turning, moving on. So this bad thing is probably going to happen, but it's not the end of the world. There's always another chapter. There's always tomorrow. So one thing the cards are saying is to not dwell on this for too long. It is going to enter your life and then leave. And in the future, it won't feel like it's as big of a deal as it's probably going to feel like today. And the sooner you can move on from that, the sooner you're going to get distance from this. Then those feelings that right now feel maybe inward focused and conflicting, they're going to soothe over, and allow openness again quicker if you let go of this difficulty faster. So one thing the cards are saying is don't dwell on things you can't control. Move on, figure out what the best way to move forward is. And another thing is to try to find a way to connect emotionally with the other people who are involved in this situation. You might feel like this decision was made unfairly against you and therefore probably treated somebody else unfairly in the other direction in terms of they got the better end of the deal than they deserved. And you probably are feeling negatively towards this person right now, or at least that's going to be your first gut instinct, because you feel like they're winning where you're losing. But they didn't control the outcome either, just like you didn't control the outcome. And so with the reverse Queen of Cups here, I think one piece of advice from the cards is to try to understand how they are thinking and feeling as well. And even the person who made this decision, even if you feel like it's unfair, even if you feel like they acted without full information or with full regard for your feelings, getting mad at them and shutting them out and not thinking of them as a real and whole person who has their own feelings and their own reasons for doing what they did, that might be tempting because it's easier to swallow the decision they made against you, but that is not going to help you process this and move past it. So as hard as it might be, and the ill will that you have towards the other people in this situation shouldn't stop you from letting yourself understand where they're coming from, what they're thinking and what they're feeling. That doesn't mean that they're right. You don't have to agree with them. Just try to understand their point of view, because that is going to help you do what the Wheel of Fortune is saying, which is to move on as fast as you can. Now, that doesn't mean forget everything immediately and just ignore it and be in denial. That's not healthy either. You need to process this. But the wheel is saying process it and move on. Do not dwell. And the way to do that is going to be to try to understand the situation from all sides. And that is going to be something that is hard to do initially, but can be accomplished through thinking through what it would be like to be the other people in this situation. And don't just assume ill intent. That might be there, but there could be other factors also. For example, the person who made the decision, they probably don't have it out for you. They probably are lacking full information. And so when you remember that that's the reason, and it's not a personal vendetta against you, it's going to be easier to move past this. And similarly, whoever got the better end of the bargain, they probably didn't ask for this. With the Wheel of Fortune, I'm thinking this is more of a fluke of chance and has to do with the circumstances of the decision maker. I'm not saying corruption or collusion against you in the cards. But if that is what's going on, even that is something to simply accept, understand that it's happening, understand why it's happening, and again, move on. So if you enjoyed this reading, then subscribe to see more. And if you'd like to learn about tarot cards or try some of my online guided readings, then head on over to foolskey.com where you can check that out. Thanks for watching and see you tomorrow.